Hey everyone, it's Two Pretty D's. We are back together on the same continent again.
Finally.
I know. And we realized this next episode really about the European trip, all the events that occurred.
Yeah.
And ironically enough, I had to be there for work and just so much to unravel and unfold. So in this episode...
Well, we're gonna probably might have to break it up into two because there's so much to talk about. So this is going to be part one of the most macabre, ghoulish, overdone, pretentious funeral we've ever seen in a country where there are people making decisions as to whether or not to heat their homes or feed their children.
Yep.
So let's just get into it. It's like we started off.
It started off as positive. We were all excited about Princess Meghan and Harry and Prince Harry heading over to the UK for their organizations, and they were going to speak at the Well Child Awards.
Yeah, they stopped in England, and I believe they visited the Queen, and then they went over to Germany, and they had a king's welcome, a queen's welcome. And while they were in Germany, they were getting back to England for the Well Child visit. And England had a new prime minister. And before the new prime minister, got a chance to form a government, the Queen normally would come out and say, form a government in my name.
Right, and so they would go meet the Queen.
Yeah, so that tells you the royal family, it's not really ceremonial. It's they're big in there into the government.
It's more, yes. There's ties.
There are ties, and they control a lot. And I call this other pretty, and then 2 days after they said, "Oh, she's grave," and I don't know if they used the word grave, but she has to be watched.
So they said that they sent medical doctors to her.
Right.
Now, when they send anybody to you, that's not a good sign.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's a sign of the fact that she came out and she looked so awful. It means that her family are awful. She never retired.
Would you want to retire with those incompetent left up?
But when you're sickly and you'd be like, dude, you've been training all your life for this, or you've been covered in it for all your life.
I know, but I think she knew and she saw what type of person he became and her other children, that she just decided, I'm going to ride this out.
Yeah, but they brought her out. Off of her sick bed, whatever it was.
Yes.
And
because it looked like they ripped the IV out of her hand.
Yeah,
anyway,
but the thing is, I was prepared for one of those things like Philip. Oh, he's dying. Oh, he's fine. Oh, Harry and Meghan and not visit him. He's on his deathbed. Months. And he goes
back and forth
months
like that,
and months and months. And it's like, that's what I expected with the Queen. No. 2 days later, everybody, all family, are rushing to her side, and all the American press is on the ground doing the worst coverage ever. And, at the same time, UK is churning out the most negative things about Meghan. Day after day after day,
when they're there for something positive, something to uplift the children.
Uplift military,
Yes. And yet they're coming after her.
After her in the most negative way. And while they were in Germany don't pay attention to the UK.
No.
They know they're trash. And they came out and they gave her a resounding welcome. I mean, they had a walkabout with them to greet all their fans there.
Yep.
That was off the charts. And so they're getting ready to come back, probably had a day's rest and come back to the UK. And so he had to be, everybody's rushing to Q2's side now.
Right, because they had mentioned, she was gravely ill. They sent the doctors. Well, no, they didn't say she was gravely ill, but they said, under medical observation.
Yes.
Which really means it's close to the end.
Exactly.
Right.
For them. Now, one of the things I know, it's like most monarchs, if that person is dying or has died, you can't predict when that person is going to go. So a lot of times they wait till all the family are there so that they can lie to the press and say all the family members got a chance to say goodbye before they expire.
Officially to the public, yes.
Yeah, and before they expired, and then they'd officially announce it to the public. We saw different people drive through there. We saw certain people got on planes. Egghead, the pedo, the wannabe producer,
the other brother and his
who don't know how to respond to a black man when he tells you we don't need you there on our island. Can't take notes. And his Ford Fiesta wife. We saw them going to Balmoral, so we knew Harry's on the way. Everybody's like waiting to see Harry show up. And wouldn't you know that these people, their vileness and evilness would hold out? Did you think they would still be as evil or just come together as a family?
Vengeful? Yes, I did.
They were really?
Yes, because look at what they did with the military titles to him.
But when the queen dies?
Because they knew that she favored him. Mm-hmm. That was her favorite grandson. Mm-hmm. I mean, come on, he does look like Prince Philip when he was younger.
Yeah.
Right? So she always favored Harry. Because Harry had work ethic. Harry always did good, positive press for the royal family. Of course she's going to love this boy. And they knew that, and they used it against him.
Yeah, they used it to embarrass him. Anything to make him look bad. So
exactly. But you know what it really did? It made them look bad. It made Charles look like the worst father ever.
It's like, you should have waited. So they all, and Harry is what...
And he found out from the news. He didn't even find out from his family.
And they said, it was bad. Charles couldn't get a connection. Give me a break.
Yes, as much security and all the high-tech, everything they had.
He couldn't get a connection.
They could have called that motherfucker. He could have called him on the plane. That motherfucker could have called him.
Called the pilot.
Yes.
Get to Harry. Yes. They said they couldn't reach him, and then when he was in his car driving there, I guess it was a couple hours, I don't know.
Yeah.
They still couldn't reach him. And
I found out before Harry.
Yes.
That's messed up.
Yes.
And I was there. Mm-hmm. So, and I'll tell you all about that. But go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, but the fact that they did that, it was a way to say, everybody came, but Harry, even if he was in the country, was, he didn't get a chance to say goodbye to her. Personally, I'm just going to say this. People are going to say, no, you're wrong. She's already dead. She's been dead the whole day, all morning. And people were just getting there to go say, see her.
Yep.
Before they took her to the morgue and did the whatever and say goodbye. That's all that was.
Right.
So to say, Harry didn't get a chance to do that, it's a lie. But you tell me where you were.
Well, no, I think, I think she might have died earlier, but I think they said the news about the doctors coming and all of that.
Oh, yeah. I admit that, but I'm just saying, just to disenfranchise Harry more to say, he didn't get a chance to see her while she was alive in her last hours. None of them got to. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that part. But here's the thing, though, is I was... there for work, and the work colleagues were like, it's our last day for our strategy session. And that Friday we decided, hey, let's go check out a play. So we go watch the play Wicked, because I've never seen it and the others have, and they said it's pretty good. 2 of us haven't seen it and the other 2 have. And 2 of us are from the US, and then the other 2 are from the UK, from Britain. So we go. And literally earlier that day we were shopping. And that's when I saw the news about the Queen being, the doctors going in and check on her. So I told my colleague, the British colleague, hey, you better check the news. Did you hear that there's doctors going to see the Queen? And she was like, no. And in my mind, I knew this is not good. But for her, I guess she was hoping that, nothing was wrong. She'll make it through.
Yeah, because she's probably thinking us, it's going to be like Philip when we drawn on.
Right. And, they'll make it through. But unfortunately, she did it. So at the beginning of the play, the person comes out and announces the Queen has died. The play got approval to continue on. Blah, blah, blah. They start the show.
That's not what you told me.
No, this is what they about to start. They started the show. The man literally just came out. That 1 minute said, we got approval. Show will go on. Queen has passed. Start the show. First song out the gate. She's dead. The Wicked Witch is dead. And I'm sorry. I don't know if it's a bit of irony or, why I happened to get that message at that time. And then having to hold it in on, oh, no, they didn't. And then looking over, and then the colleague, she just bawled her eyes out. I think she was a royalist. Bawled her eyes out. and kind of felt bad for her. So I had to remain neutral, couldn't say nothing, couldn't react. But I'm like, damn, that's messed up.
I know. Jeez.
And then not only until the end did we have the 2 minutes of silence, and we all stood in silence for the Queen. So it's just weird being there. So because we were already near Buckingham Palace, because we're at the Royal Theatres downtown, we walked over to Buckingham Palace. And it's a good thing we did, because I don't think anybody can get any closer to it now. And after all the procession and revelry and pomp and circumstance they did afterwards. But we got there beforehand, we saw the announcement, and it was a little eerie that night. Even the skies were weird. And I took a photo of where we were in 2018 when we were by the Queen's carriages. We came up that street. And took the same photo, and I'm like, this is the last place I saw the Queen alive.
Yes, I remember that. So they were coming back from the wedding? Or? Yes.
And the Queen waved at us. Yes. So I took a picture there with the souvenir shop that we had just walked out of, and then you see her stables. So it was kind of eerie, and the moon and the way the clouds were kind of it was just creepy. But yeah, so people were devastated. Not everybody so much, and some of those folks are in the royal family, and they made it quite evident
that they didn't give a shit.
Well, to put on someone's pearls who literally just wore them meeting the new prime minister, and the person's not even 6 feet in the ground. That's cold.
That's cold shit.
That's cold shit.
Yeah.
And at
so how did you handle yourself around the other?
Had to hold it in.
You had to hold it in,
Right.
Were they criticizing Meghan or?
Criticized Meghan, criticized Harry. Happened to have a barbecue with some of the other friends, and the one's husband is kind of like a Trump supporter, right? In that sense of.
For a British version of a
Trump supporter. Yeah. And, he was saying that, well, we don't know if Harry is really royal. We think he's whatever that guy that...
the redhead guy's son.
That Diana had an affair with. I'm like, Harry was born before she had that affair, but okay, sure, the math is not mathing.
Did you say that to him?
Would you say that to someone when you're the only black person in the room?
No.
And you're at their house and at their mercy? Hell no, I'm trying to live.
Oh,
I'm trying to survive the situation.
That in your mind, and that's in your mind.
I was saying that in my mind, like, no, this motherfucker, okay.
Yeah.
But I think they caught themselves because they're about to go down a path of, oh, well, she's a home wrecker and he's a traitor and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then they looked over at me and I just looked up at them. I didn't have any kind of emotion on my face. But you know what? Actually, I don't know, because being of melanated skin tone, we have a hard time with the poker face. Okay? I have a hard time with the poker face. So it wasn't working.
They probably saw you like, oh shit.
Yes.
But if you were lighter skin like Meghan,
they would have got
said a lot of shit, and you could have been like a fly on the wall.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Yes, but But yeah, it was weird. And then the news. So after that week and then the whole mourning period, it was felt like the longest 10 days of my life. And I can only imagine what Harry and Meghan had to sit through.
Oh yeah, they went through a lot.
Because I'm not even related to them. I'm not in that sphere. But the news, the drawn out, like the coverage, it's either hating on Meghan, drawing out the whole respectability BS about what they're doing and why aren't they showing their loyalty bullshit, and then
I happen to be around people talking like that.
Well, no, but the whitewashing of the Queen and her reign, 70 years, but they only highlighted like
duty, service.
Yes, but only key topics that happened. So it was a very short summary. But I'm like, no, she did a whole lot more. Y'all ain't talking about that.
Yeah, but not only that. What Meghan you talking about?
No, I'm talking about the Queen.
Yeah, but Queen, when they say she was the 3 buzzwords, duty.
Yes.
Define that for me.
The only duty I saw was in the war, and yes, she did her duty.
Right. Service.
Yeah, she built some hospitals and maybe opened some plaques, opened a hospice center.
Is that service to her?
In her mind, yes. In their mind, yes.
Yeah. What about all the other people? All the other, because when she took over, there was a lot more. The British Empire was bigger.
Yes.
And now it's squashed down to that small English Commonwealth.
Right. In the 15 countries that still have her.
In the Commonwealth, and then around that island,
right.
where she controls, you got the Scotland, Ireland, Wales, whatever. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like,
well, it's Ireland and Northern Ireland.
Ireland and Northern Ireland.
Two separately, yeah.
Yeah, they split that place up trying to mess them up. Mm-hmm. And, so, and then when they talk about that and her commitment to her people and all these different things, and when I see American dignitaries say that, I'm like, I need to just slap you. Just because just because she was nice to you, and you might have been. And
she outlived how many, or she had how many people?
Prime ministers, and outlived all of them.
Yeah.
That doesn't make her great. That doesn't. She had the power to do so much more. Yes. And all she did was maintain white supremacy. That's correct. All she did.
And then figured out a way to repackage it.
Yeah.
Instead of the empire. Oh no, we can't do that. Let's call it the Commonwealth.
Yeah. Repackage it to try to, but still.
To still retain power. I'm sure those trade agreements were not favorable to any of the countries of which.
Right. And what did she do to end for any of those islands when they had the Caribbean tour? Nothing. Nope. Nothing. They just used those places, but gave them nothing back. So anyway.
Exactly. But we digress. But that's what it was like being there, and then the coverage, and then the people talking about it. And it's like, they read the news, the tabloids, like it's news.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm.
But it's not. I'm like, do you guys not?
And these are educated people you're working with.
Yeah, I know, but do you not fact find? But no, I'm talking about in general on some of the shows. Mm-hmm. There's one where they go through the news of the day, so they take all the different papers. Mm-hmm. But some of the papers they take are the tabloids.
Tabloids, yeah.
So I'm like,
those people ain't right.
Yes.
So those are chat shows.
So yes. So then it goes through the whole series of events. Mm-hmm. So this is a series of events. She was at Balmoral, so now they're going to move her from Balmoral to the Buckingham, and she'll be received by new. I can't even say it. King Tampon. Yeah. Which is weird.
Right. But when they started, after they disenfranchised Harry with the announcement.
Yes.
Harry stayed over at Balmoral.
Yes.
He didn't leave Balmoral till the next day.
Correct.
So did Tampon King III and Carmilla. Mm-hmm. They didn't leave Balmoral till the other day.
Right.
And, after they made that fuss that Meghan couldn't go to Balmoral with Harry, she couldn't travel to Balmoral with Harry because, and the only reason is because Boney, the Bag of Bones couldn't be there because Ford Fiesta was there.
Fiesta was there, but Battle Bones wasn't?
Yeah, and so was Carmilla. They just didn't want her there.
Yeah.
And they were just doing the othering of Meghan. Yes. And that pissed me off.
Yes.
And then, I know
then he flew back to be with her.
To be with her.
Because he can't leave her by herself. Yeah.
But then they were at Windsor. They were at Frogmore, state of Frogmore. And that's not a healthy place for Meghan because that place is haunted from way back. I read that story.
Oh, you remember our first episode? Yes, we talked about the haunting. Yes.
That place is haunted from that Indian dude that the Queen Elizabeth kept there. He wanted to be back at home with his wife.
Right.
He haunted that place. But
I think Queen Charlotte watched over Meghan. And Princess Diana.
Yes.
I think they were like, nah, Meghan, you got to hang in there, girl.
Yes.
Yes.
And so they had a walkabout.
Yes.
And it was a surprise to everybody with 2 walkabouts going up.
Well, wait. So did the walkabout happen while they were still in Balmoral doing the services there? Like
no.
Doing the stand? Yes. I think
yes, there was one, but Meghan and Harry was not involved with that one. Tampon and his
siblings were up there doing it.
Yes.
And then they did the walkabout.
In Windsor Castle.
Okay, so go ahead. Mm-hmm.
So the one in Windsor Castle I saw first.
Okay.
Right, on the news first. And you saw William Blumen come out of the car and, Bones. But then you saw Harry, and then you saw Meghan. Everybody was shocked. Oh my God, the Fantastic Four is back together. Girl.
Okay. Did you see the body language expert
the 2 seniors ones were up front in the front seat of the car.
Right.
And then it was, the men sat up front, and behind them were their wives. You know?
Right.
And
so she had them sit next to the bones.
No. No, Harry and Meghan was in the back seat, and then
then the other two.
Yeah, other two. So she was in the front of Meghan. So Meghan got a call. When Meghan got a call, Meghan stepped back away from the car, away from all of them. Harry got out on the other side and
walked over.
No, he didn't walk over.
Oh.
So there was somebody on the side where the men were to greet them. So they went to greet them.
I see. So
back.
the same thing happened on where the ladies got up.
No.
Okay.
Meghan stepped back on the ladies' side.
Okay.
And little bag of bones made a beeline to cross. She didn't acknowledge Meghan. She just walked down the side of the car, turned across the back of the car, and this is the back of the car now, to rush over to where the men had just greeted, I guess, somebody who was receiving them. Right. And
whatever the people were. Yeah.
Whoever this dignitary was. So they shook hands and thanked him. And probably was the person, the organizer, member for the firm. Harry was the last person that shook hands with him. And then, Bones went over there to shake hands with him and probably talk some kind of shit. But anyway, then Meghan, it seems like while that was happening, then walked slowly to the middle of the back of the car. This is how far she was staying away from them.
Right.
She's like, I don't want nothing to do with it. We don't have to be friends. No.
Right.
So then, Bully Man ushered Meghan over. He made the motion to invite her over. Yeah. So then Meghan walked over and introducing the guy, bowed to Meghan, shook her hand, and then Meghan stepped back.
Again, she was like, "Yep, okay, shook your hand. Okay, I'm good."
She went over as far as just to stand right and directly in front of William, bent over, shake the guy's hand, make the guy come over. Yeah, because Kate was over there, and then she backed away. And then, I guess they were still chatting with him, and Harry was fixing his shirt and pants, and then he walked over from behind. He was behind Kate Willem to be around Meghan and put his arms around Meghan right there, and they were standing there.
Okay.
And then they, kind of got together and walked out to do the walk back.
And again, the photo that I saw with the body language experts.
Yes,
with the angles.
Exactly.
And the two who were in sync?
Yes.
Harry and Meghan.
And his other brother was walking closer to him than his own wife. There was a gap.
There was space.
There was space. Evidently, there's space going on between us two.
Yes.
People were putting dead bodies. They put the queen. They put.
Are you kidding me?
No, they put the queen in between. I think they put Diana. They put somebody, a whole lot of people in between those two to fill up the space.
Yes.
And then they went out. And as they went out, you see Meghan they were looking at the flowers and cards before they greeted the people or reading some things. Meghan was, consoling Harry.
Right.
Because here's another woman he lost. And you remember that under me, you can see he said, somebody else I'm going to lose.
Right.
So she understands what he's going
through.
Yeah. So she was there. She was there.
As a wife to support her husband.
Duty.
Yes.
So she was supportive of him, and the other two were like, no, there's no support going on over there.
We don't know what they were doing. It was awkward.
It was awkward.
Yes.
And then at one point you saw a picture where it was Meghan, Harry, the Bullyman, and then there was a gap, another gap again, and Bones is all over there by herself. Yeah. Looking at stuff, it was like it didn't look normal.
No, it didn't.
But the people in Windsor, there were some nasty ones, and they were like, some shook Meghan's hand, and then
the Karens of Windsor.
Some shook her hands, and others didn't put their hand out for a handshake, but tried to roll their eyes after.
And you know what? I'm glad Meghan had the class and the decency to be like, whatever.
And just move on. Yeah, you're not gonna break me.
Exactly.
Your shit. Yeah. Bitch, I'm bigger than you.
Exactly.
Yeah, you behind that fence trying to shake somebody's hand.
Exactly. And they ain't coming over to do it.
Yeah, and you could wait for the other two to come and go over them. I don't care.
Right.
And this one girl who was right next to them said, "Can I get a hug?" And she hugged Meghan.
I know.
Big hug. And it was like she wanted to tell her, "You belong here.
Yes.
You're wanted here."
Yes. Because the majority,
nice.
I think, of British citizens do.
Right.
Well,
But that's what they say. That's what they said when Princess Diana passed away. Yeah. There was all this outpouring of flowers. Like, where the hell were you when the newspaper was like dragging her? Where were you? Now that Meghan is dragged,
they've been so subservient for so long.
Yeah,
you know how hard it is to get out of that mindset.
Yeah, you need to speak up and shout out, because the same thing's going to be happening.
Oh yeah.
Or they're going to try to set up the same thing to happen to Meghan, and you need to stop it. Or Harry.
Yes.
You need to stand up and speak out.
Yep.
But anyway, at the same time in Balmoral,
okay, so
there was a walkabout.
There was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and they
apparently
had
I
the
didn't
brothers.
see that.
You didn't see that. They had the brothers.
Okay.
I didn't get the video to show you.
Okay.
But it was
Tampon, Pedo, and
Eddie. No. It was. I only saw the Yorks and.
Oh yes, and then Ford Fiesta and her husband.
Yes, those people come out.
Yes.
And the Yorks came out.
The next ones that are supposed to be part of the new Fab Four.
Yeah, I don't know, but he was trying. He's trying so hard to be part of
something.
So he came out and he was consoling one of his daughters who was leaning on him, and he rubbed her back. And he rubbed her back from the top to the bottom, the curve of her back off to her butt, went down her butt, and just where, the end of the jacket ended, I guess something told him, okay, I better stop. And he stopped.
He should have stopped a long time ago.
Yes.
I saw that, and people were like, oh no, he was just bending down to pick up some flowers.
No,
that's nothing. And it was y'all are sick.
Y'all are sick.
Yes. No.
I know.
That's what groomers do. And then somebody was saying the fact that she didn't even flinch.
Exactly. That is, that's normal. It's like, is it groomed to be, let your dad hug you like that? No, that don't look right. And,
no.
He shouldn't have done that in public. It's like, they're
trying to, what do you call it?
Rehabilitate him?
Yes.
No, not with him feeling up. It's going that way.
Charles needs, Tampon needs as many enemies out there that for other people to focus on than him. Because of the cash for or scandals or cash for play.
Yeah.
Scandals is coming back to haunt him.
Right. But it just wasn't right. But anyway.
But so then the mourning continues.
Yes.
So then she gets moved from Balmoral, from that church there, down to Buckingham.
Right. She got flown, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, she was driven.
No, she was flown and then driven, yeah.
No,
there was a big plane.
Okay, well, I saw a lot of driving to get to that big
plane.
Yeah.
And then there was another plane. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they drove all over the place. It was like, oh, God, when will it ever end? Because the only reason I was looking at it was to see Meghan.
No, and that's why I was like trying to keep up with the schedule. Yeah, so then they were having all these vigils at Buckingham with a different series of family members to watch over her body. And
the first person that I saw at Buckingham to receive the body at Buckingham, I didn't see a whole lot going on in Buckingham, was...
no, this was when the grandchildren had their vigil.
Oh, was at Westminster Abbey, but we get to that.
Okay.
But it was Harry, with Charles coming down to greet the body.
Oh, to the body, yes, yeah.
And then Meghan and Harry was right behind him. I don't know where the other two, I guess they were too busy doing stuff. So Meghan and Harry had to do the work. They had to be the ones doing the work.
Y'all better pay us because we're not on this contract.
Exactly. But it was like, it was just a lot. Like I said, the funeral was, I think it was a little bit of a monstrosity. I thought it was ghoulish.
We didn't even make it to the funeral. Let's talk about a uniform gate.
Yeah.
So then it comes down to the... Yeah. It comes down to the...
What we have, we have when they was flown to UK,
right?
The traveler around the UK, right?
You mean Scotland?
Scotland. Mm-hmm. Then they'd flown to UK. Then there was a travel around the UK,
down to England, and down to
Buckingham Palace, arrival. Then there was a walk to Westminster Abbey, and that's when they said
he can't wear
his uniform.
And then that's when the military and everybody over there who was served was like, "What the fuck."
Yeah, but they should have said something. They should have said something.
No, they did say stuff.
Really?
Yes, they did. The thing is, they were like, nope, this is a way to punish him. Yeah. But what did they really do? It made him
He stood out.
He looked like he had bodyguard protection.
I know. That's what everybody said. The squad online was like, Harry and his bodyguards.
Yes.
Harry and his this. Harry and this. It was so funny. And it trended.
Yes, and it really did look
trended.
Look, that's Harry and his bodyguard.
Yeah, and it made that the petty king. I would call him king of pettiness.
Yes.
King of ugliness.
Revenge.
Yes.
Jealousy.
Yes.
Everything you can name.
Yes. Charles of pettiness.
Yes.
King Charles III.
Right.
Yeah.
So then, the body makes it to Westminster.
Then he
So the body makes it to Westminster.
Right.
And then he decided to, after the backlash.
Yes. He decided,
yes.
okay, we'll change Harry could wear his uniform for the Vigil.
Right. With his grandkids.
Yes.
With all the grandkids.
Right.
Okay.
But the one thing that upset a lot of people is that while he was, when you salute, because they were, all of them could salute.
Because they were in uniform.
Even Princess Anne in uniform, she never served a darn place in her life.
Right.
She has some ugly too, because remember she hated on Diana.
Right.
But Harry couldn't. So he just had to bow his head.
But I don't know if you noticed though. You can't take the soldier out of the person.
Oh no.
He did the mannerisms with the head movement. He didn't raise his arm and salute, but I saw him do the side look and then the thing.
Yeah, and
it's like a natural thing for him.
He was going to do that. Yeah, and he bowed his head.
Yes,
and he looked like a king
amongst little
men, among little trolls.
Little trolls.
Because I was looking at it and I was like, okay, to be quite honest,
yes,
Harry only had 3 seconds if anybody would attack that group. Because Anne was going down, her husband she's going down on that flank. Charles ain't nothing but kick back on it, roly-poly. He's just gonna cushion.
Yes.
Willie Leaks is gonna run screaming because he has to protect his body because he's gonna be the future.
Right.
And the other 2 old dudes, who was
they gonna make it over cousin. The Queen's cousin.
Who were in those other funerals.
Poor
they're
man.
just gonna be fragile. So it'd be like 2 seconds. That's all I give Harry. You have 2 seconds to prepare to defend yourself. You're the only one in shape. You're the only one standing tall. And your bodyguards ain't shit. That's what I'm saying. You would do your bodyguards, but you need to get some better ones.
So then the grandkids do their vigil.
Yeah.
And oh my God. Harry came out.
Oh my God, yes. It was led by the other brother. And
right.
Harry was behind and the other grandkids.
Okay.
Can I just say something?
Go ahead.
Okay. I don't care who's mad at me, but there's something wrong with Zara's face.
Okay. Well, we might have to edit that out. Okay.
Something wrong with her face. Those stupid ass hats she wears. She just looked like a deer with headlights or the eyes all bulging out.
Yes.
Like Beatrice does naturally.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she has no sophistication. No. Nothing. It's like, damn.
Yeah, that's the redneck section. But
anyway.
But no, Harry in that uniform. Mm-hmm. I think that's why they didn't want him to wear it because
they knew he would look good. Oh my God, yes.
He looked damn
good. Yeah. And
then they tried to slight him with the whole thing about the E2 wasn't on his shoulder thing, but it was on his hat.
Yeah.
So apparently, whoever these palace aides or whatever they're doing, y'all are sloppy as hell.
Exactly.
Did you not know where all the insignias are on the uniform?
Yes,
because it's all over that motherfucker.
Yeah, and they didn't have it. They didn't have the E2 on. I think it's on his buttons too. And they also didn't.
It's all built on his buttons.
Yes.
That you can't take that off.
And they said he didn't, but he also. We're sleuths in the
It's on his hat.
Yeah.
It's on all of the buttons. It wasn't on that little insignia thing.
Because you remember, the Sussex squad of spies and sleuths.
And we are CIA.
They were like, he didn't wear it on his wedding.
Right. That's the same jacket. He was like, I'm gonna rock this one.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not the same one because the other one had pleats.
Mm-hmm.
But he looks good. And then did you see that sharp 90-degree turn he did?
Oh yes, for all of them.
Oh my God.
But what? In the meantime, the other brother was walking, turning.
Okay.
Let me just turn, and Harry's like.
he looked a little chubby.
Oh, he was
the
chubby.
other one, a little chubby.
Yeah, his chubby, and his uniform was chubby,
and his shoulders looked weak and slumped.
Slumped, slumped. Just he didn't have the crispness of the soldier.
Yeah.
Of
the fitness.
The fitness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, Meg. Sorry, Duchess. But yes,
you choose well.
Yes,
the man is
officer and a gentleman.
Yes, he's off the chart, and we are admiring him for that because he's
out of love.
Out of love. A little bit of lust in that.
Whatever, says the other D. But yes, no, they looked good. Mm-hmm. He was able to honor his grandmother.
Yeah.
So then, did we get to the funeral day? No, she got to travel to Windsor.
Right.
No. They had the funeral at Westminster.
They had the funeral at Westminster.
So the first funeral, state funeral was at Westminster.
Right. And then again, he had to march in, but he was, coming in with Meghan and another thing.
Right. So he was in his morning suit.
Right.
But now, mind you, he told them.
Oh, wait a second.
I don't care.
Yeah.
What I'll wear whatever that her queen.
Yes.
Her plan says for me to wear.
Yes.
Because it's not about
me.
No, it's not about the uniform. You can't take the soldier out of me.
Yeah, and he's like, it's not about me, it's about my grandmother.
Right. Exactly.
But wait a second, before I jump ahead, did you see that deep, beautiful curtsy that Meghan did before that, when they were...
The yoga is paying off, because goddamn it, my knees were hurting. Damn, she's good.
She went down.
And that's a true honor of respect.
Yes.
How low she could curtsy.
Yeah, and with such class and the angle of her back, everything.
Yes. Perfection. In those heels?
Yes.
Looking good.
Yes, exactly. But anyway.
But that was the first outfit. The next, the state funeral.
Yes. Yes.
Can we talk about the looks?
Yes.
Do we need to talk about how it
should have been a fashion funeral? It was a fashion for everybody else. You know what Meghan did? Meghan did not, remember, she did not have enough time to plan funeral outfits. Right. They might have had time to plan funeral outfits. They're right there. Her clothes mostly in Montecito, or she probably had to travel with some black outfits just in case. But I don't think.
I think she might have had to just say, "Hey, get me this," because I know they'll have it.
But she was simple, a simple black dress. Simple black dress,
but thoughtful. What was that black dress? She wore that same dress in another color for the Queen's birthday.
Yes.
So see, she tied in the sentiment.
Right. Mm-hmm.
The hat was in the white version for the Queen's Jubilee. Okay. Remember the special day?
Yeah, but
she sashayed in with the white.
It had a different brim because of the way that hat was
cocked. Homegirl tilted it.
Oh, yes, the way it was tilted and cocked, it was like, I don't know, it was like...
It's the same maker,
yes,
same
yes,
thing.
It was like...
But she did it all black.
Yes.
And then the earrings that the Queen gave her.
Yeah, tiny...
Yes, very simple, very sophisticated.
Simple. Exactly.
Yes, understatement. And then the gloves.
Yes.
Like all the gloves.
No jewelry, no necklace.
Nothing. You don't need all that.
Just this simple black dress with a cape.
You're going to a funeral.
Some people might have worn that. Meghan didn't have any of that. She had on her black stocking, her black pumps. Mm-hmm. They said they might have to recast those pumps because it's an older style of shoe.
Yeah, because she's had that in her collection since
for a while.
Way before.
Yes, and her gloves were these gloves, the kind that stand up on their own. It was big and
it does a little ruching
in the middle, and then it stands on its own. But she didn't have gloves. She didn't have a purse. She didn't have anything.
And this is how I knew that was the day they're gonna fly back out. Because the last time Meghan wore a cape in the UK,
it was like to get the hell out of Dodge.
Exactly. Right? Remember when she was all dancing in the church in that green dress? Yes. Now she couldn't necessarily dance in this moment because she's paying her respects. But she's like, I ain't carrying no purse. We about to be out.
Yeah,
that's what that was like.
And she's like, not only that, but I'm here with these idiots. And sometimes Harry had a duty to. Like when he was walking in behind against the Queen again, he did not have the procession with the rest of the family. Right. He did not have his suit on.
Right.
I mean his
uniform on. But guess what? Mm-hmm. He had his bodyguards.
And he looks good. And he was so tall.
He was so tall, they thought that the man with the bear hat in front of him was going to block him.
Yeah.
Harry still managed to stand out.
He stood out like the soldier that he was. Yeah.
Even all the Navy people pulling her the cart with her the casket.
Yeah.
He still stood out.
Yes. And all those toy soldiers didn't do anything.
Nothing.
And Meghan looked classy.
Yes.
Very classy.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess they took her body out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then they take her they have the ceremony. Okay,
but when they would talk about
ceremony?
it, well, after the ceremony.
Miss Buttons.
Oh yeah, while they were standing waiting,
yes.
all the wives were waiting while the men, they took the casket up, and they were waiting to decide. And you notice, she brought her 2 young kids.
Okay.
There. You know why she brought her 2 young kids?
That's so sad.
So she didn't have to be close to her husband.
But that's sad that you're using your kids in that way.
Exactly.
And they were trying to get sympathy points.
Yes.
For having them there.
Having them there.
Because they're thinking, oh, let's do like we did with Diana and having Harry out there, little Harry.
Yes, no.
That's sick.
Yeah. And buy a black suit for the little boy. Don't put him in a bright blue suit. He looks stupid.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then the little girl,
put her in a
nice
was she
hat.
in buttons? Why was she in buttons?
I wasn't in the buttons.
She was in buttons.
Okay, she had an Amish hat on. That's the kind of hat that I had in primary school. We used to have those hats. It was made out of the material was made out of, like, Megan's her fedora hat.
Yes.
Kind of a material like that, but stiffer. It looked just like that.
Yeah.
Like
maybe they were going
that
for like a
was
modeling
wearing.
look.
And I had the color of the school ribbon was tied, and there was a bow. I used to have to wear that hat every day.
Hideous hat.
With my
no, but she did
with
look
my
Amish.
hair booms with my uniforms.
Yeah.
But I was like, no,
Yeah.
why that hat? Really?
Yeah.
That's what you
They
went
went
for.
Amish.
She had a Amish. Yeah. But all of them robbed the Queen's jewelry because all of them wore a brooch
that the Queen
wore. And even Charlotte,
the necklace.
Yes.
The necklace, the bracelets.
And
everything.
the earring. And the brooch that Charlotte had was
something the Queen gave her when she was
no, I was one of the Queen's brooches when she was a young girl.
Oh.
And then all the Queen's grandchildren, all the girls, got to wear a brooch from the Queen's collection.
Okay.
All of them had it. I don't know if they gave it to them or if this is just something to wear for the funeral from the
but
royal
still,
collection.
That's crazy.
But I didn't see them offer. I don't think they offered Meghan anything. If Meghan, do you need to pick any jewelry, anything for the Queen that you want to wear?
A brooch for the Queen
or anything like that. I don't think they did. But I don't think it would have enhanced Meghan's dress.
No.
It would. Anyway.
No.
Yeah. They all had because they were so mean. Meghan looked better with her plain dress.
Yes.
Like all of them with their gaudy jewelry, and their stupid ass hats. Yeah, I'm gonna have a hat with a veil in front of it. I'll have these long pearl earrings.
Well, she was trying to do a Diana.
Yeah,
right?
and the necklace, no. Yeah, Diana, yes, exactly. Diana was a natural.
Yes.
But, and it's just, she was just, oh no. And then she had her kids, and it looked stupid, made her look stupid.
Yes. But she needed something else to focus on so they don't look like they have space.
So Meghan,
because they had so much space.
Because the black woman wouldn't try to hit her or beat her up while she was away from William with her kids there. Meghan could have still taken her if she wanted, but Meghan ain't like that. I would have taken her, but Meghan ain't that kind of person, not in front of the kids.
No.
I would have told the kids to go inside, push them inside, and I would have smacked the shit out of you.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but little Miss Charlotte was watching the hate that her Karen relatives were
putting down.
Yeah.
We're putting down.
Because all the kids love Meghan.
Yeah, and from before, so I don't know what they hear their parents say.
Right.
But Miss Charlotte, let's just jump ahead. She was staring at Meghan, and at one point...
then she was staring at Fiesta, because Fiesta was giving
exactly.
Meghan a side eye.
Yeah, and one time she was staring at Meghan, Meghan gave her a little smile, and she turned back.
Yeah.
Meghan was the only positive thing.
Yes.
And then she was doing the same thing in church. She was just staring at Harry when they went back to Windsor Castle, just staring at Harry. You know, and I think Harry just smiled at her because, whatever.
Right.
But she saw positivity on that end, and the other end was just all
negative.
All this negative.
Evil darting eyes, and
it
just hate.
But anyway, so all those women standing on that
one side, and then Meghan looking.
And Meghan, amazing, standing slightly away from them. Because she probably could smell the stink on that end.
Yes, she don't need that negativity.
And this stink, because I don't think they bathe every day. I think they have bad days.
Oh, Lord forgive us. Anyway,
so they're participating in that bad thing.
Yeah. All that money and that wealth, and you can't bathe every day?
But that's with that. That's all good with that. So then, after they travel to Windsor, and
and then the next service,
then they have to have that service, and then she was being a big old Karen. Mm-hmm. Because the way you sit opposite of the way you come in,
correct?
Because when you're going out, you still want the seniors to go out first, correct, to be leading. And she comes up, and she knows she's not supposed to be in first, but she's blocking the way.
So Voldemort had to move her back.
Had to move her back twice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I saw that
twice. He has to move, and she's looking back, mm-hmm, and Megan,
she just came in like whatever.
Walked past her, didn't give her an eye, didn't
nothing. No acknowledgement, nothing.
No acknowledgement. Walked past her, and Prince Harry did the same. Walked up, turned, and she was staring at Prince Harry like, "Look at me, look at me, look at me." Yeah, Harry didn't block all that evil. He was in a bubble.
Yes,
a bubble.
He did an animal image.
And that evil didn't penetrate that bubble.
Nope. They had their bubble and they were good.
Yeah, he went in, he sat next to Megan, and then she had her kids, and then her. But no, she had Charlotte, her George, and so, mm-hmm, she didn't have to sit next to her husband. Mm-hmm. But it was just still evil. I mean, this is a funeral.
Yes.
This is church. This is when you're supposed to be in your best behavior. But no.
And then they still tried to dim her light. So watching it live in... this time I had already made it to the Netherlands. I had to get out. And I didn't go through London Heathrow because I knew it was going to be crazy. Mm-hmm. So I flew out of Birmingham. And, once I got to the Netherlands, and then I was watching it on TV. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why, but I feel like they purposely put things in the way, or they purposely didn't pan towards Meghan or Harry, mm-hmm, which is fine. It should be about the Queen.
Yeah.
But when they did a full zoom in, mm-hmm, and then zoom out, but it was too quick. So you can't capture the moments, but that's what I think people were watching for. But yeah, there was a candle strategically kind of placed in a way that you can...
That's fine. That's good. Yeah. Megan is probably, thank goodness.
Yes.
Now, how did the people in the Netherlands take it?
Silence. King Wilhelm was there, so that was good.
But did the rest of the people didn't give a shit?
No, Wilhelm was there. It's fine. That's his cousins.
The rest of the people weren't even talking about it. It wasn't in their news.
No, it was in the news, but it wasn't dominating.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's not their queen. They don't care.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say it like that?
No, I said it good because I figured they're close. Europe is just so tight.
I know, and they're all related in some capacity.
Yeah,
but I think they were more realistic about it.
Yeah,
and the queen had passed. These were her 70 years.
Yeah,
showed some highlights of her over the time, and then that was it. And then said the funeral was going to be on at this time. End of story.
Yeah, but not the endless commentary.
And then let's just talk about. I don't know how y'all do it, those fans that are in the UK, but the BBC 1 and 2, the nonstop talking, mm-hmm, and then having people on to talk about, when they met the Queen, which is nice, that's mm-hmm, fine, mm-hmm, but you should be showing the events that are happening behind.
Right.
If you're known for your pomp and circumstance and all the formality of the military and whatnot,
right,
when you want to showcase
mm-hmm,
that, when you want to show it,
right,
no, they kept talking to these people. Mm-hmm. I had to watch it on a German channel to catch all of the actual things that they were doing, like the salutes, the gun salutes,
all over
the
country
comes out, how they prepared.
Right.
So that's the stuff that people were
right.
And then the band, when the bagpipes started playing that group, mm-hmm, you would think they'd shut up. No.
Yeah. And the British media tried to make a big thing about where Harry and Meghan was seating at Westminster Abbey because...
they had a prominent place. They were right in front.
I thought they were better placed. Yes. They were right behind the Tampon King. And Carmilla.
During Westminster. But I'm talking about when they were in Windsor. They had a front row seat.
They had a front row seat. Still a better placement. And then because they had all the seniors in Westminster all the way across the two front rows. In fact, the other row, the other aisle group,
right.
The other brother and his fathers were there, and it was like, ooh, Harry and Meghan delegated to the second row. Give me a break. They had a better seat. As far as I'm concerned,
he's sitting right behind his dad. I mean,
exactly.
That's where all the focus was.
Exactly.
Charles and the Queen and all that.
But they were trying to make it negative. And the same thing at Windsor Castle. They were like, ooh, they put her behind a candle. Look, nobody knew where that candle would end up. It was on the
Megan was like,
yes, thanks. I need to just have a breathe, you know.
Yes.
And you could see when she came out of that church and they got in the car.
Because she felt devastated for her husband. She also knew the Queen in a positive light. And then, you know, she actually genuinely cared.
Yes. And she was probably the only
one nice to her
in the royal family that was nice to her.
Yes.
Not nice to her. Nice to Harry, nice to her kids.
Yes.
And so she probably grew a bond with her, a friendship with her. So she's probably sad for her. She didn't get into what the Queen did or didn't do in the past. She was just caught up there.
Anything to her. I think they had a good relationship.
No, I mean the Queen's life.
Oh yeah.
She was just caught up in the colonialism or anything. She wasn't focused on that. She was just focused on the relationship she had with her as a family member,
as
a grandmother, whatever,
to her kids, or great grandmother to her
kids and stuff, and being there for her husband. So and being at a funeral for so long.
I know, and to hold your composure. To be
on a national stage, on the international
24/7.
stage, 24/7, and all the other obligations and things they had to do.
And God forbid, hair
so
out
she
of
was
place.
Sad, you know. So she was sad, you know. It's a sad moment.
Yes,
it's sad for him, and so you know you could see she's the only one who looked sad.
She was the only one crying.
Yes,
because the other two were having
like, I'm holding it in, but a tear came out. She just wiped it out. And the others two,
you saw them in the reception? Yes,
oh, yeah, giggling.
Look how much we got away with.
Yeah, look how good I look. No. You know, and then they got on when they got into the car, it looks like one of the cousins, Eugenie, was talking to Megan. Megan was not given any response. I noticed that.
Yeah, because she knows
Megan was closed-mouthed and didn't say anything.
Right.
And her husband and Beatrice and all the people were back there. And then Harry came out and Beatrice just rushed back, quick dart back to her husband, back in line. Because she had came out and stepped in front of Megan, talking to Megan that way. Megan. And Harry came out, she went back in her position, right? Oh. And Harry turned around, looked at the man, looked at who was back there. You know, see anybody trying to say anything to Megan? Anybody want to fight? Anybody want a piece of me?
Yes. Was he checking him?
Yeah, he was checking him. Yes. And he was checking because Beatrice's husband, he, kind of adjusted his glasses, did one of these nerdy things, and he looked down,
Oh, you mean Eugenie?
Yeah, Eugenie. Eugenie's husband kind of looked down, he did that. And Harry turned around with Megan, their car, he did, said something to people getting their car. They got it, and you could see Harry just like, just like a release. And the same thing for Megan. She was like, oh. Finally, but that wasn't the end of it. They had to go back and have They had a family reception after that.
I think they went and got their bags and called it a day.
Oh, I'm sure they had to go back. There was still another thing they had to go back to, a final, probably farewell little service for the family or something like that. It was just a long
day,
daunting day. You're burying somebody.
I know.
Yeah. So it's like. Maybe a reception over by where they finally placed the body because they moved.
Because she was in it's that other part of the chapel we couldn't go into. Right. That's where she would be buried. Yeah. Because that's where her parents are.
Yeah. So they moved Philip there and they moved her there. Yep. So it's like, it's long and daunting. And I'm sure Diana was,
Somebody did a meme. Tell them it was me. That's so wrong.
It was so wrong. But it was just like I said, I thought the funeral went on for way too long.
Well, in between
it was too many. It was just too
many things. But then I noticed some other things that were happening.
Yes.
So as quickly that he got reinstated as the king, can we talk about the pen incident?
Yes. But no, quickly, as soon as he got reinstated as king, all the things that supposed to automatically happened.
Right.
He became king. his son became Duke of
Prince of Wales,
Cornwall,
Duke of Cornwall,
and Duchess of Cornwall, and then Prince of Wales. But normally he didn't have to do the Prince and Princess of Wales right away.
But he did.
Yeah, he was supposed to notify those people, and just like the Queen did, and they were supposed to have a ceremony. So he hasn't had that until
that formal ceremony.
Formal ceremony, but he did that. The councillors moved up.
Yep.
So that moved Beatrice up into that group of councillors for the new king, and Harry is still in there. Mm-hmm. So just like Harry had a lot of duties to perform for the crown before stepping back as senior royals, it's not like he was cut off and not doing anything.
No, he was still a consultant for the Queen.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So when he talked about the Queen's health in the past, we were like, what do you have to care about the Queen's health? That he was doing that in his role as that.
Yes.
As a caregiver for her. And so then you saw that, and then it's like one of the things that didn't happen automatically was Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet's titles were not given automatically.
Yes, they are. It's under King George's IV's decree.
But I didn't see it on any paperwork.
Right. They don't want to put it on paperwork because they're trying to figure out a way to
take it away
from them.
Yes.
But technically, by law, yes, they are Prince and Princess.
We ought to start printing it everywhere.
Their Royal Highnesses.
Yeah, Prince and Princess. And Harry ought to put that up there on their documentation until Charles said, take it away. Then we would know, until King Tampon says, taken away, then we would know he changed a law to disenfranchise his son's children. And
then that's when we call all of the African nations and Caribbean nations of the Commonwealth Avengers activate.
Avengers activate. But not only that, but
and Avengers assemble.
Yeah. But that's when we know that he would also mess up George, because that would mean when George becomes king, his sons, who have sons, would not be automatically prince or princesses.
Correct.
So George would have to change that convention back, and that would show how racist the British were. That would be proof that it was all about racism.
We're not a very racist family.
Yeah, we don't need the proof, and we know that they're a very racist family.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna hang them about that, and the crown is coming out.
Ooh, honey.
Yeah. It's Diana's through words, in Diana's words.
Yes.
Based on Diana's words.
Yes.
But anyway.
But no, thank you for joining in, for at least for this first half. Because the second half, we're going to dive in to the next set.
Mm-hmm. Right. But anyway, we're so happy that you were here to talk with us.
Yes.
And, that we're, finally got back together and cover some of these things. I know some of these things we already talked about on other podcasts. But, this is just us telling you what we saw.
And I was there.
What we felt. Yeah, she was there trying to keep a job, not trying to say shit to nobody. But we know she can't have a poker face, because she was probably looking at him like, bitch. You said, what about Megan?
Exactly.
And they all had to shut up.
Real quick. All right, guys. Thank you.
Please subscribe.
Enjoy. Bye.
Bye.